Hey there YouTube. Today I'm doing a video review on this Fort Strong door closer. It's model number FS1306B and I got this on Amazon for $35. And here's the feature list on the box. Modern compact design, quick and easy installation, fits doors up to 145 pounds, fits left and right door openings, high quality construction, and a full scale fitting template is included. I purchased this door closer for one purpose, to keep me from forgetting to close this door and having my child fall down the steps. Figure concrete isn't a good thing for a child's brain. So here is the full scale template they're talking about. I gotta say the instructions are really good if you are installing this on the outside of the door that is closing. I was installing it on the inside of the door that is closing. So this template didn't really work for me since the closer was going to be installed above the arm. Here's all the different configuration possibilities that they show you. In my scenario, I wanted the door closer hidden behind the door with the hinge on the outside of the door. So per this diagram, the closer goes on the top, the arm is extended until it hits the door, and you face the long part of the pivot that attaches to the door facing away from the hinge in this configuration. You'll notice that there's a short side and a long side of that triangle piece. So I am in the basement right now, and you can see the door closer. Kind of. One thing in the instructions, it says that this arm has to be perpendicular to the door. But when I tried to do that perpendicular to the door, it didn't want to shut right for some reason, so I kind of put the arm inward a little bit. I think this is one of those things where you just have to really try different configurations and see what actually shuts the door. Of course, this is not an installation video, this is a review video, but just wanted to point that out. Okay, so for my installation, since it was on the inside of the door, and I had some really thick trim, I couldn't actually install this without a spacer board of some sort because this arm was not long enough. This actually worked out because I was able to use 6 screws to secure this to the door. I found out that this door is hollow. So when I put these screws in originally, they almost ripped right out. And in addition to almost ripping right out, they actually popped out the other side. Not by much, but just enough to crack through the paint. So keep that in mind. Make sure that the screws are not going to go through the other side of your door. So the thickness of my door is about 1 5/16. So your installation may also be easier if you're installing it on the outside of your door. I was doing it on the inside because I wanted this nice clean look where the door shuts and then I don't have to see a closer. To adjust the door closer, you can't really see them in this light, but there is a little hole numbered 1 and 2. Hole number 1 is the speed of the closure. So at this point when the door is closing, it's that speed, right? And then when you get to the latching part, that's the second speed setting. So that's number 2. And to adjust those, use a flathead screwdriver. Fast is counterclockwise and slower is clockwise. Just for another example, closing speed, and then once it gets to a certain point, that's your latching speed. I did originally have issues where the screws in this hinge were loose, so the closer was actually putting so much torque on the door while closing, it was causing it to hit the frame and it wouldn't close, but by just tightening up those screws, I alleviated that problem immediately. So from the factory, this door was wanting to throw me down the stairs and close. It was that strong. And that's not something that I wanted, since the whole point of this door closer was to keep my child from falling down those steps. I didn't buy the closer that attaches over here and then like has a stick that pushes the door, because that just seemed kind of sketchy. I wanted something professional, hydraulic, not easy to install, but reliable. And that's what this is. I trust that this unit will close the door every single time. Instead of spending 18 bucks, I spent like 35 bucks and made sure I got a product that worked. Okay, and one thing about review videos that I hate is when they don't show the complete operation of the product. So I'm going to open the door all the way from closed and just show you how it closes. Now again, this speed is adjustable. I'll play with it a little bit and show you how fast and how slow you can get it to shut. But here's the setting that I like it at. Okay, and you can actually play with the door while you're adjusting this, and you can kind of gauge the speed live. So this is actually the fastest setting. I just screwed the screw all the way counterclockwise. This is just to make sure I don't forget to close this door. Look at that, I got enough time to get out in front of the door. It's not going to push me down the steps. But because the latching speed is configured separately than the closing speed, it'll still throw the door shut once it gets closed. And I can actually open the door pretty easily. It's not super easy, but I'm not really having to strain too much. I'm going to make it latch just a little bit faster. Oh yeah, I like this speed a lot better. But I still want it to throw that door closed and make sure it latches. Nice. This closer is very configurable. I'm sure it's not the same quality as a commercial closer, since they open and close doors dozens of times an hour at least. But for residential use, this feels very sturdy. I think it'll last a while. And if it ever fails, I will post in the comments, and I'll probably update the title too, because I do keep my videos updated. I like to be very transparent. I've only had this installed a week, so it's very possible it could break in a day or two. Who knows? But if it does, I will post in those comments. And if you're curious and thinking about buying this, just post in the comments like, hey, I'm thinking about buying this. Is it still working 1 year, 2 year, 3 years later? And I'll respond back, because I just want to help people. And yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.